Woman dies during surgery, shares unbelievable insights into her cosmic connection. Hey there, it's Olivia. My life has been a wild ride, from facing trauma and a near-death experience during surgery to exploring mystical realms. Join me as I share mind-bending insights, from unintentional soul retrieval on a 13,000-mile road trip to encounters with spirits in a haunted San Francisco house. Learn how I broke free from karmic cycles and harnessed the power of forgiveness and self-compassion. Subscribe for more unbelievable tales and join the conversation about life's cosmic connections. Welcome everyone. Life's thrown some major curveballs at me since I was a kid. By 22, I'd been through it all: sexual, emotional, and physical trauma. Coping meant drowning those overwhelming thoughts in booze and drugs. Back in '92, I was living with my only boyfriend in Boston. Out of the blue, I find out I'm pregnant. No insurance, so I end up at SF General Hospital. Twins at just 9 weeks. First, they try to induce a miscarriage, but no luck. Surgery it is. While out cold, the doc's like, "Stop hurting yourself, Olivia." Weak from anemia and pregnancy issues, I drift out of my body during the abortion. Floating above the chaos, I see the medical team irritated, but I'm kinda numb. I bleed out on the table, almost slipping away. Enter a beautiful being, offering me a choice: stay in peace or go back and make a difference. Despite the pull to stay, I choose to return. Going back into my body feels like sinking into concrete. 3 days in the hospital and my boyfriend's a no-show, adding more pain. Turns out he cheated, and fueled by anger and the blue being's advice, I split within a week. Got a ticket to California, chasing my dream of being a comic book artist. Spent the next 30 years in San Francisco, creating comics, but crossing over opened up a new side. I started seeing ghosts, energies, and weird time loops. Despite that, I kept up with my old habits, including weed, until 5 years ago when I cleaned up. Life fell apart after 2012, stuck in an abusive relationship. Fed up, I embraced hopelessness, accepted myself, and ditched impossible goals. Moved out, got a box truck, and hit the road for a 13,000-mile journey around America. Faced and dealt with my past traumas, learned to love myself. In the midst of that, I find a dog on the street, Sadie. Feel this weird but awesome love in my heart, the first time for another being. Changed my standards for relationships. If someone didn't make me feel like my dog did, I kept my distance, set healthy boundaries. Helped me stay true to myself in different situations, a crucial lesson from my road trip. Growing up in a tough situation often means disconnecting from your body. The upside? It makes meditating a bit easier, letting you look at things from a distance. During the pandemic, I took online classes at Shaman School. We got into past life stuff and soul retrieval. After circling America, it hit me. I'd unconsciously revisited every house from my childhood, picking up the pieces I left behind. This journey made me feel complete and in charge. Instead of just reacting and feeling like a victim, I learned to protect myself with trust, love, and self-compassion. Soul retrieval also changed how I felt about my parents, realizing they went through traumas they couldn't face. When I got clean and started searching for answers, they disowned me, oddly freeing me. Changed my name, moved away in my truck, now they don't know where I am. Tough at times, but cutting ties brought me a priceless sense of freedom. Learning to cope without drugs and embracing self-discovery. A big chunk of my journey has been about the psychic and mystical side, my main guide. Discovering past life traumas, like being accused of witchcraft or betrayed for trying to help others, showed a pattern in my life. Made me think maybe those of us who faced darkness early might be the shamans of our generation. Driving around the country during my unintentional soul retrieval, I did a ritual by the Mohawk River in upstate New York. Used to play there as a kid, feeling a comforting presence on the other side. 30 years later, during the ritual, I realized that presence was future me, a guide giving reassurance. Sent energy back into my past, closing a karmic loop for myself and past generations of women who faced abuse. Through practices like Reiki, it's important to close those karmic cycles and break free from harmful patterns. This freedom helps me handle tough situations better and assist others in dealing with ghosts. In my last haunted place in San Francisco, an 1853 house, met loads of trapped spirits dealing with death and betrayal. These experiences shaped my views on time, healing, and the need to break free from repeating patterns. In that place I lived for 15 years, there was this dude always dressed like it was the 1920s. Weird, right? And here's the kicker. Every roommate who moved in got all gloomy and depressed. But the moment they left, like magic, they'd feel better. Turns out it was this 1920s guy's energy making things heavy. So I decided to do this huge ritual thing to release all that bad vibe from the building. In this big symbolic boat, most spirits happily sailed away, but not our friend from the 20s. Despite trying over and over, he just kept pacing in the hallway. Others at parties in my house saw him too. Got pretty annoyed when he refused to leave. So I did some deep digging, read like 2,500 obituaries, and found his story. Jude died between 1921 and 1924, all thanks to a nasty betrayal and murder. This Maggie lady convinced him to off her abusive husband, then snitched on him to the cops. Betrayed and broken, he offed himself in jail. Realizing how deep his pain went, I did this special releasing thing just for him. Finally, he moved on, wanting people to know his story. Taught me a big lesson about forgiveness and how emotions are like radio signals. Facing and changing dark feelings through sound and frequency can free folks from guilt, self-hate, and anger. Self-compassion is key, especially for those dealing with complex post-traumatic stress disorder, CPTSD. It's about recognizing and accepting emotions without letting them control your life. Learning to steer the energy, like riding the rage horse, can lead to pure joy.